Welcome to the Six Stack YouTube channel. You're listening to Keep It a Stack. Episode 4, this is your boy Ed / Kahamsha. I got with me DJ / the OG DJ, Eric / TorpeedoShlong, John / Chima, and Steven / Smooshies. What's up, guys?
What's going on, Mayday?
Yo, how's everybody doing? We all doing good? We're doing good? I'm doing good.
I'd say we're doing good. I'm doing good.
I'm doing all right. I could be doing better, but I'm doing all right. Yo, how you been, Steven?
I'm doing well.
Word. How about you, Eric?
We're doing good. How's everybody's Thanksgiving? Let's recap.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we couldn't do
an
episode on Thursday, obviously because of Thanksgiving. Yo, my Thanksgiving, bro. Yo, was I won't say wild. It was just hilarious. I had my older cousin who's like 36, cracking jokes the entire time and whatnot, and we played Smash and everything. It was a good time.
Bro, I got fucked up pretty much every single day. And on top of that, I cooked Thanksgiving dinner again for the third year in a row.
Hey, I'll say this: DJ is a great cook. I pulled up 1 year for Thanksgiving at his crib. Awesome. Remember you gave me something to go.
Yeah, man.
Thanks. DJ's a good cook, man. I vouch for him. I love when he cooks. But most of the time we order a large pizza and fall asleep on it because we get too high.
I'll be the judge of that.
Good. But my Thanksgiving was pretty whack. My mom left me on Wednesday. My dad went to sleep all day Thursday, so I had the old reliable with me. I had a little bit of Steven's cousins cooking me up a little bit of that kung pao pop. You know what I mean?
Word.
A little bit of that kung pao chicken.
Yo, what about you, John? We didn't hear from you.
Puppy.
I don't remember.
Yo.
That
Dude,
sounds
I'm
like
not
a good
even kidding.
Thanksgiving to me,
So
bro.
we all went to my boy Trust's house. He's married, so he's got a house on base.
All right.
And then we went to the Senior Emin Rodriguez's house, dog. He works at my shop. He offered me this Puerto Rican milk rum shit he had,
Coquito!
and then my friend Stevens challenged me to drink drinking contest with some soju, and half that night is gone. Apparently went to someone else's house after that. I can't speak on that because I was not there. Apparently there was crying involved.
Oh.
You were
damn,
definitely
John.
gone. That crying was from the coquito, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Yep, 100%.
Damn, bro.
That
Yo, what
coquito
up?
had all of us crying at one point.
What is coquito, by the way?
We were drinking it was soju. Yeah, we had soju.
Dude,
No,
soju's
the
so
Dominican drink though that you said that was mixed with something. It's called coquito.
No, it was
Ask
Puerto
him.
Rican. It was Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Dominican Puerto it's a Taino thing. It's an island Spanish thing. Oui. It's basically usually like cinnamon, milk, some strong ass fucking rum.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. It tastes like Kahlua. Kalulu, whatever that one drink is.
Mm-hmm. It's like the moonshine version of Kahlua.
Yeah, basically.
Oof. Also, technically, it's illegal to sell
So
it.
yeah, wait to backtrack. Steven, how was your Thanksgiving, bro?
It was good. I got it's normal.
Normal.
Or with the family and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I celebrate with my girl's family, so I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I celebrate with my girl's family, and this is the second year, but they drink a shit ton. I wasn't ready for it. Dude, they drink a lot and they eat a lot. Like, there was one point where they brought a tequila bottle after tequila bottle, and I was like, I can't do this. I gotta go sleep.
Bro.
Anybody do any Black Friday shopping?
Nah.
I did.
I was on the other side of the
Castle
shopping, bro.
Crashers.
Alright, one at a time now.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, you said what?
I was on the other side of the shopping, bro. I worked that day. Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
DJ bought Battle Crashers. John, what'd you get?
I got a new Spectre monitor. Got some PS4 grips. Got some stuff for my controller, a new controller, because those were going for like $38 on Amazon. That was a fucking nice ass deal.
Yeah, I wish I would have known about that. I need a new remote.
Oh man.
They got I picked up a PC that I'm financing for $200 a month.
Pretty lit.
Word. All right.
Oh, yo, I found this cool app where you can pay things in installments. It's called like Quad Pay, but like basically like when you're not able to pay things in installments, this thing will let you do it for you. It's pretty sweet.
I think I've seen ads for that.
Yeah, it's called Quad Pay, I think.
Word.
Oh.
I'm gonna eventually get a PC, bro. Once I get the money for it, I'm gonna move on to it. But as of right now,
What was I gonna say?
I'm sticking to my PS. You know.
I don't know if Steven, I don't know if you were here the other day, but someone wanted to go over with all of us. I want to see if we would. What are the odds that we could be able to pull out any type of heist? Doesn't have to be a hard one, but what do you guys think? You think the six of us right now could pull off a heist or whatever? Like,
wait. Who's the six? Jay?
like let's say, like, all right, maybe not six, but more, because we need Jay in here because he's part of the group. Barsky, I guess, right? Barsky, Henry, and then everybody in here.
I don't know about you, but I suddenly feel like playing GTA 5 all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, seriously, because
No.
this has to do with the story of Steven. I don't think you were here, but the biggest heist in history just got pulled in Europe, bro. For billions worth got stolen from this museum, billions, bro. And it was on some Ocean's 13 type shit, bro. Amazing.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
I gotta read up. Do you know what it's called?
No, I forgot.
No. I gotta read up on that. That sounds dope.
If we were to pull out like if it was just us, what type of heist would we even pull? Like,
How about this? Before we get into it, right? All right. How about we plan the heist real quick? Boom. Real quick.
Can we not? We should probably not plan a heist on a podcast.
This is not the place to do this, my guy.
I'm pretty sure just John alone being here is just a point of interest. Like, oh, we have one of our airmen in here discussing something.
I gotta fucking plan a heist with you guys. He's trying to get fired.
No.
Fired?
Not
Like, we're gonna get arrested.
Listen, not a real heist. Like, I want to plan, like, alright, so, let's say, honestly, look, I'm notoriously known for stealing. I've never been caught stealing. I don't know, I have a habit of stealing shit.
You just said that live on YouTube.
Like a little paper clip or something, I'll just grab it, right?
Not
That being said, I will take lead of this heist, but I want to know who do you guys think would be what role?
Oh, bro, I'd be the double agent, 100%.
Like, I think I could
Yo, the
see.
FBI at the door.
I could definitely see Steven doing recon. Steven being recon for us.
Walking up like, hi. I'd just
Yeah, like
to
Kim,
take a moment
that dude
to,
from Kim Possible.
Steven's our inside man, dog.
Yeah, Steven's the inside.
The guy in the chair?
recon guy. Yeah, he's
Yo,
the guy
are we about
that.
to pull a heist on fucking Steven's job right now?
Oh, chill out.
Shit.
Yo, I'm down.
I'm not.
Are you saying
No,
you're
I
not
would never do that. I would never.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see where we're going. Okay, Steven, I get your drift.
You're an idiot.
I
You're
get
an
it.
idiot.
I get it now. We would never do that. I'm winking at you. You don't know this, but I'm winking at you. All right, baby. So we got topics today. Bringing topics to all you beautiful people watching, which there probably isn't any.
Not yet, but they will be.
All right, someone go over the topics, and then we'll start breaking them, and we'll decide what we go into.
Ed, would you like to bring up the topics?
All right,
That's
first on the
coach.
board, we're going to do a quick, not too long, not too short either, discussion about Overwatch 2. Expectations.
Yes.
First of all, we're going to explain what Overwatch 2 is to everyone, including people here who do not know. I
It's
could be
Overwatch,
wrong.
but the second version.
Oh, yo.
Shut up. Overwatch 2 is essentially just a giant add-on to the game. Like, whenever Overwatch 2 comes
Wait.
out...
So you're going right into it? I thought we were gonna talk about the shit that we have in topic for today, and then you dive into the first topic.
What else do we have on topic?
Oh, the patch
that
notes. The patch notes on we'll have a discussion about the patch notes that's
Ooh,
going
that's right,
live.
that's
Yeah. And who knows when? I estimate whenever Wonderland goes live, Winter Wonderland, when you know the Christmas event. Anyway, and pretty much those two. Those, I mean, the second one in particular is going to be a long discussion. I already know. I mean, we're going to go in deep on that one. I have the patch notes right here in front of me. I'll read that out loud once we get to that. But Overwatch 2, it's pretty much a giant add-on. Whenever Blizzard decides to release this, you know, you're gonna be paying for the PVE, but the PvP is free. Everyone's getting the PvP benefits. But that's not the core, you know, thing that everyone's excited for. The people are excited for the PvE part. Yeah, right, the PvE part.
Yeah, for the people who don't know, explain what PvP and PvE means.
All right, so PvE stands for player versus environment. So you know, you're pretty much playing against a whole bunch of bots. And PvP, player versus player, is what everyone's used to. You know, in Overwatch, Call of Duty, you know, all types of multiplayer online games where you're playing against actual players. Right? Yeah, pretty much a whole bunch of other players. So the PvP is what Overwatch is already right now. 6v6, you know, team oriented, blah 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 blah. But the PvE is where the story is going to be coming in. There's been PvE events in Overwatch already with the, you know, archive events, the Halloween event. I think the only PvP event we got is the Christmas one with the 5 Mays versus the Winston. But Overwatch 2 is, I mean, clearly the biggest thing to come to Overwatch since launch. And to be real, I'm not really sure if I'm excited or not. I'm kind of on the fence. I know DJ had a couple things he wanted to say. I know DJ's really excited. Like, he's ecstatic.
Bro.
You want to take this away?
So, I don't know. So, recently, after BlizzCon, which was at the beginning of November, there was a couple of things released for this. There was a gameplay for the first mission. There was gameplay for PvP, a new mode that they're coming out with. Bro, I suggest if anybody who's watching this or listening to this is interested in Overwatch and likes the lore, please, for the love of God, go watch that first mission. Oh my God, the entire...
We'll drop link
Beautiful.
to the video in
Absolutely
the description.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous, man. Holy crap. Like, everything that you wanted out of, like, the PvE, out of the story, out of the lore, all of the, like, you know, character interactions that you thought might happen or you wanted to happen, they're happening. Every single one of them. Blizzard took exactly what we wanted, and they put it into a game. And honestly, I'm glad that they took the time to figure out what it is they wanted to do, because this is worth paying for.
You know what's funny?
At least by the way it looks now.
Well, not funny, but what I actually like about the PvE is it's not a single player experience. You know, it's essentially what I look at this as kind of like the same genre of what Marvel's Ultimate Alliance is. Where you know you have up to 4 players playing, you know, at the same time, and then and you're all taking, you know, essentially bots. I mean, yeah, but you know, but it's so well done. I gotta go back and watch it again. I'm just like, yo, because I remember
the PvE gameplay, right?
not the whole thing. I seen parts of it. I was at work when they released the video, but I remember when me and Eric were playing the archive event that came out this year with the Havana map. Eric, I don't know if you remember, but Eric, no, was it that? It was either that one or the Retribution archive event. Either one. The fact that it opens up with the cutscene. Yeah, I think it was the Havana one. You know, where you see Genji gets taken off by Mercy, and then you see the voice acting. I'm like, bro, they could legit do something dope with this.
Oh, you're talking about when like Mercy came swooshing?
Yeah,
down.
Mercy came swinging in. Yeah, and that joke was so lit. I was like, bro, they could easily make like a whole separate game, and I would drop that 60 in a heartbeat. I really don't care, because I'm just like, bro, the lore. Honestly, the Overwatch by itself, forget the whole, the competitive side of it. The lore alone is just so fun to get into and interesting. You know what I'm saying? And hearing and learning all the different interactions. So I'm just happy that they're finally doing this, and then, you know, and obviously Overwatch 2 is going to be that. I believe it's a sequel, like it's a direct continuation of the story. I don't think it's anything that we already know. Like, I don't think we're going to go in and witness, you know, Hanzo killing Genji, or you know, Zenyatta, you know, taking Genji under his wing or anything like that. I feel like Overwatch 2 is a sequel to, you know, what we already know about Overwatch. But go ahead.
Yeah, what they were trying to bring, the way they're trying to play it or show it was supposed to be like, remember how Winston was trying to get Overwatch back together?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like right after this happens. Like Winston gets Overwatch back together, and then this is what's going on right now.
Right.
Like the story that he was talking about in the beginning of the game, when you listen to the intro, is essentially what Overwatch 2 is. The world is in danger again, and Overwatch is reactivating in order to help them.
Word.
With the first gameplay for PvE, what happens is it's like Lucio's in Rio, and he's trying to fight off the Omnic advance that's happening right there. And Overwatch, the new Overwatch that Winston calls recalls, comes in to help. And I won't go farther into detail on it from there. I want y'all to watch the video, but that's where I think that's happening. And I think all of the archive events that have been going on, are kind of like supposed to be basically our origin stories for everyone, or for what Overwatch was.
Right. My favorite one by far is Retribution.
With King's Row?
No. That's Uprising. That's Uprising. No, that's Uprising. Storm Rising is the third one that came out this year with Genji, Tracer, what's her face, Mercy, and Winston. The Retribution was the McCree, Genji, Reaper, and Moira one. The one that was in Rialto at nighttime, the covert mission.
Yeah.
That one is just, I get chills every time I watch the cutscenes for it.
Black Watch.
Yeah, and you know how McCree's narrating in that thing is just so, it's just so good. He's like, that's what I thought. For some reason, that's where it all decided to go wrong, or so he's go something. I don't know, but that was my favorite one because it's like that's when Overwatch started to become what's the word? Corrupt, for lack of a better term.
But wait. So we're really focused on the PvE, which is amazing because that's probably going to be a great experience. But let's talk about what this brings to Overwatch on the PvP side.
Oh, okay. So this is the
new push game mode. Looks really interesting to me.
Here's my thing.
It's very
though.
interactive. I love all the UI they put into it, and all the interactions on the map they put in as well.
Explain what the game mode is, though. You can't just
So
say
The
it.
game mode. So push what it is what it is. It's basically like your average payload map, except it's more back and forth. So you know how when you're on a payload map, say Kings Row, you cap the point starts moving, and so as long as you're on it and it's uncontested by anyone, it moves forward. But as soon as it contests on it, it stops, and as soon as they have full control, it starts to move backwards slowly. This one is actually the payload is being pushed by this giant robot, and you're fighting to basically. I feel like I'm not totally sure, but I feel like you're fighting to get it to one side or the other of the map, and you go back and forth. So it actually goes back and forth. There is no stopping the payload; it just goes back and forth.
No, it's essentially two. It's because it's not a payload per se. It's like a wall, and it's one robot. You're essentially controlling the robot. Whenever you win a team fight, so the robot will push one side. Will push like there's like two walls. You know what I'm saying? And they over time they both get further and further apart from each other because the robot can be pushing both of them. So when you control when the team controls, in this game mode, the robot pretty much replaces the payload. When the robot starts pushing the wall that you're supposed to be pushing, he's gonna be pushing it until you lose a team fight, and the team could takes control of that robot, and they pull him back to the other side, and he pushes that wall. Kind of like they had a similar game mode in, I don't know if you guys played it, Paladins, where it was like whenever say a map like Nepal Shrine. Right, the King of the Hill map. Right, there's one point in the middle, and both teams come in and try to cap the point. Instead of capping the point and then you have to get 100%, you cap the point and then a payload spawns, and then you have to try to get it all the way to their spawn point. But if you lose the fight, they could take the payload from you and try to push it to your spawn point. So it's kind of like a tug of war kind of a concept. Which honestly, bro, that's gonna bring like different types of strats, because it's like I feel like I don't even know. I need to get my hands on it. They haven't really showed too much about it, but it's just I like the idea of a new game mode, because it's been 3 years. It's almost been 4 years now. I'm like, bro, this is just the same 4 game modes over and over again. The only thing they really added is just maps, and some of them are, let's be real, the past couple have not been good. Like
fuck Paris.
Like Paris was a travesty. Havana is hit or miss. A lot of people hate Horizon. I don't know why. I personally don't mind Horizon. What else is people don't like Oasis either. Yeah, but I'm just thankful there's like a new map being added to the game. Like I mean I'm sorry, game mode because now it just I feel like that will open up more metas in itself. But yeah, but the I don't think I don't know. Are the PVE changes to the heroes gonna move over to the PvP? Like for instance, Lucio's boop.
So, so some of the things are, some of the things aren't. They
Okay.
wanted to really stress the fact that a lot of the shit that's gonna be happening in like PvE, it's mostly gonna be like, there's gonna be the abilities that each character has, and then there's different like augments that you can put on the characters.
Right.
So
Yeah,
say
sort of like they're
like
gonna have their skill like a skill tree.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
with one of the examples is like Tracer. When Tracer recalls, it'll every enemy that she damaged before she recalls, um, gets damaged again. Which they didn't go too
Mm.
much into detail because it was a the move was locked, but it's just like things like that, or better reload, shit like that,
So
faster reload for
essentially,
certain enemy, like certain people, stuff like that.
the game is moving closer and closer to the
RPG
MOBA
side.
the MOBA side, whereas like as the game progresses, it'd be like people like unlock abilities and whatnot.
Yeah,
Or
but that's just for the
oh my
PvP
god,
aspect.
oh only for
PvE
PvP.
aspect.
Oh, but if that was in PVE, bro, oh my.
I mean, no, not for PvP. It's for PvE.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
It's,
saying if that was in PvP, can you imagine how crazy that would be? Because I know I seen an ability where
it'd be a MOBA.
it'd be a MOBA, exactly. Like, because I seen an ability where Genji pops his ult and he does one strike and he throws like some type of Zoro type beam and it goes like a projectile that goes through like all the enemies. It went through like a whole bunch of bots. I'm like, bro, that'd be lit. Or
It's
when
not about the fact that
Reinhardt,
this dude can throw his sword now.
where he threw the sword, I thought he threw a beam.
Ah, he throws his
No, that's
sword.
a sword.
Oh,
Oh, that's what you're talking about? It? Yeah, that's a sword,
yeah, it
bro.
was. I thought it was like a projectile, bro. Like he did a slash and then like the. Yo, that's crazy, bro. I mean, I'm hype. I mean, I also like how when Reinhardt Earth shatters, it is like a 360 effect instead of everything in front of him. You know what I'm
Makes
saying?
more sense.
Yeah, it does make more sense because it's Earth shatter. You know what I mean? It hell make more sense. I really don't like May's ability. If she goes into cryo and anyone touches her, they freeze. That's broken. I mean, it's PVE, I know, but I'm just like, nah, I'm not with that one. Um,
I'm with that one for PvE, but they try to bring that shit over to PvP.
yeah,
I'd be upset.
nah. Lucio's boop, like doing more damage if you hit a wall. I mean, he's essentially got Doofus's punch in a gun, pretty much, and he can do it to multiple people, which is crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yo, speaking of new abilities and stuff, does anybody have any abilities, any characters they want to see reworked, any abilities they want to see carried over to Overwatch 2? Because I know the big thing they're going to be doing is like they're going to be changing shit up.
I mean, I would have an answer for you, like a definitive answer, if I knew what Sojourn's abilities were.
Mm.
Because Sojourn's
So then,
she's the new
was she
hero.
confirmed to be the next?
Yeah, bro. In the first announcement trailer, she was announced to be the next hero for Overwatch.
Mm.
Um, well, then again, it could be that could be just for Overwatch too. I don't know. Like she could be like the
To
first hero to
mention,
be
there's a
added.
lot of talk of Echo as well.
See,
Yeah, but they showed off Echo in the gameplay,
they did.
the gameplay trailer, and she just seems like a support, not in
Oh,
like a
okay.
support, like a she's like a kind of like I'm pretty sure the voice, even though his name is Athena, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Echo.
Is she a good support?
Yeah, she's the one freaking flying the plane in.
Um, I mean, I don't know. I feel like a good ability change. Um, I can't shy away from Zenyatta. I always come back to Zenyatta, bro. Um, I said this before in a previous episode. I feel like his orb should not be line of sight based. Like that's you take that you take that away from him, bro. He's a better healer by default. His orb should stay on somebody until he dies, or gives it to somebody else, or even better, he can manually take them off. You know what I mean? So he's not wasting it. I mean, I don't know, but other than that, I can't really think of anything specific. Um,
I would like to see them. There's a couple of them I'm thinking about. So with like Diva, I'd like to see Diva, like Baby Diva, get a couple of abilities, or even make it so that she, like so to give her a little bit of viability as Baby Diva. Maybe take away some
Diva's
of
Bible
regular.
is fuck, dude. You see the pistol, bro? I have trouble killing baby divas.
Baby Diva is
Hear me out on this one.
ridiculous.
So this is something I was thinking about. So say they'd like, maybe didn't necessarily halved, but like they dropped Diva's health by like maybe 100 or so, or gave Diva an option to like almost turn the mech into a more mobile, like how the fuck do I put this? Less tank, like person in a tank, and more Gundam. Like it's Diva. I'm doing a bad job at explaining this. So basically, the way I was thinking about this when I was thinking of a rework for Diva, because this is just the first one that came up. So say with the defense matrix, she's able to kind of place almost like a Rista shield. She's able to place it, but for less time. So for like a 2-3 second like drop, like a defense matrix shows up, or like she's when she's like does drop her mech, she has a secondary option instead of like just like going back into her mech. She's able to like turn her mech into a like an automaton. Like instead of it like just exploding, it like drops and becomes like a bob almost.
If I understand what you're saying, it sounds broken as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, obviously there'd be more intricacies to it, and there'd be things that they'd have to nerf and fix, but it was just something to kind of like make her more annoying as a like off tank. I also want them to add more main tanks or add more like main tank abilities. So like making like maybe giving Hammond like the ability to when he does his like shield, it shields everybody around him as well. Or everybody within a certain
good,
radius.
but I'd
certain
say
radius.
shield them for like maybe a 25% of his shield, like, cause his shield's already toxic as fuck.
You know what they should
Like
do? They should implement more heroes that can heal outside of support. Outside of support, not heroes that can heal themselves. I mean, like a soldier's the only hero that's outside of the support category that can effectively heal the whole team if you wanted to. Soldiers don't do it, obviously, but I feel like if there was like 2 or 3 more heroes that could like provide like some off, like on some sidewalk heals, some just some on the side heals real quick, then it would like because I mean you could count Sombra in there, but it's not really. But I feel like if there was, say like, what was that one hero from Lawbreakers? Damn, who dropped the health pack? John, you know what I'm talking about? Like he was like a his ult
Almost
was his ult was like
Torbjorn's old thing.
yeah, kind of like Torbs, yeah, but it was like a deployable like health pack. Think of it like the little the full health packs in Overwatch, right? Mm-hmm. There was a hero in Lawbreakers that could legit drop a whole health pack, and then the health pack spawned in like every 6 or 8 seconds, and then I think the ability itself stayed up until either somebody destroyed it or I think for like a minute or so or something like that. It was kind of like
Or even instead of like having to implement more heroes or rework a bunch of hero skills, why not make one hero that gives their whole team an option to heal themselves?
kind of like a third ability or something.
Yeah.
See, I like it. It's thinking outside the box. I don't know if it would work, but we would have to see it. I mean, it could be a trade off. It could be a hero that has like low damage output. You know what I mean? Like
they can have the option to give their team like say a buff, like Lucio speed buff, so you give them give them 50 health when they need it if they're in danger, or they could shield them before a fight, something like that.
Another thing I think would be cool is if we had a hero that's kind of like the reverse of Sombra, like it kind of like he could
and like buffs their abilities.
No, like cancels out certain cooldowns. Has an ability that let's say you see I'm trying to think of a hero that has a cooldown they rely on, like McCree just uses stun, right? and he missed the stun real quick, or Mercy. That's another good idea. They just use the ability, and then this X hero or whatever uses his ability to refresh that hero's cooldowns. and he gets his ability
No,
right
a
back.
refresher would be broken. Maybe like half the
No,
cooldown.
but the cooldown on that refresher is what makes it what that will make or break the ability. Like I'm not saying have it on on a 3 second cooldown. That'd be ridiculous because then you have fire strikes coming left and right from Reinhardt all over the place.
Yeah, you could put it on, you could put it as like a maybe
Like-
like that character's like ult could be to refresh all of their abilities. It could be a support character.
Right, like because I feel like I don't know, like or it could be like kind of like honestly no, they could give Zen this ability. Think about it. If he had an orb, right, and you put it on somebody, it cuts all their cooldowns in half. Like and then like that right there, some cooldowns on certain characters to make it more balanced. Like Lucio cannot have that because he's gonna be booping people left and right every 2 seconds. No, he can't have that ability. You know what I'm saying? Hanzo can't have that ability because they would have to buff some of these some. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's so much that Overwatch hasn't tried that the community can easily come up with. Like I know somebody was like Overwatch got to stop the whole idea of releasing a hero one at a time and then try to balance the whole game. Like somebody was like they should just release like 3 heroes all at once and then let the meta mold itself and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like just like don't be afraid to just throw ideas. You know what I'm saying? And be wild with it because if it doesn't work out, all right, then you could always patch it. You know what I'm saying? But like the fact
That's a lot of money you're asking them to throw just at random and just for the sake of seeing what happens. Like you got to think of it from a
Put it into
financial
the
perspective
PTR.
as well. Even putting things in the PTR still costs money.
I mean, how much money? How much money does it cost Blizzard to make a new character? Though that's something I don't know.
I don't know, but I know it ain't cheap.
We gotta think about like the design. You gotta think about all like the
Design, man hours.
balancing them in.
exactly.
It's mostly
like,
just like developing, so it probably costs them roughly the same amount. They probably already have a team working on new characters and stuff like that.
No, they've already made it plain that they always have one character that's about to be released, one that's almost ready, and one that's in development.
So they have a cycle.
They just wait. They just
have
wait
a
so long
system.
to like release it.
There's also probably a lot more than we know that goes into releasing a character.
I mean, the first thing that we know off the bat is the whole, I mean, this happens every time. Whenever there's a huge, like change in the PTR, pretty much the when a whole bunch of reworks happen and buffs and nerfs happen, they're making room for a new hero. Like I don't know if John remembers this, but remember when Roadhog got nerfed right before Doomfist came out, and how crazy that was. Like this dude Roadhog was the most broken character in like early 2017. And then they just nerfed the hell out of him because it was like a Roadhog. He's a one shot hero. He's just, and then they dropped Doomfist, who was essentially like another Roadhog in terms of like this damage burst. Like it was crazy. But like, this happens all the time. I don't remember what changes came before. The ghost changes came before Baptiste. They started to negate. They weakened armor, and then they made speed boost slower. They made a whole bunch of things slower. So and then they dropped Baptiste, and then it almost felt like they regretted the decision. And then they came out with Sigma, which was essentially almost a counter to Baptiste because of his ult. I mean, me and Eric saw this on the first week when Sigma came out, when he would pop his Diva popped his ult. Popped her ult, and then Baptiste thought he was smart by putting immortality field down, and then this dude Sigma was like, you know what? Lift took them all out immortality field, and they all died to the Diva bomb. Like, but
it's like each new hero's a fix from
right.
the
It's
problem
pretty much like that's what I feel like Blizzard does. I feel like the last legit hero that was put out like out of creativity was Wrecking Ball, because honestly. We did not need Wrecking Ball. Let's be real. Who came up before Wrecking Ball? It was Brig, right? After Brig, some of these heroes that have come out besides Ashe and Baptiste, we did not need. Like we really did not. To this day, I mean, Wrecking Ball is a good pick only because he's know how to use him,
man.
Right? He's a wild card, but the thing is, I remember before Wrecking Ball came out, the comp was kind of very sorry, not the comp. The nature of Overwatch was very simplistic. You know, there wasn't anything wild. The wildest thing in Overwatch before Wrecking Ball was what? Pharah and Genji and Junkrat. Those guys are always up in the air doing crazy stunts or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Especially Junkrat. Like you could do ridiculous stuff with Junkrat if you know what you're doing. And now they add Wrecking Ball. I remember day one, people were swinging left and right. You know, they would grab like a bridge and start doing, rotating up and you know what I'm saying? Like and it changed the whole nature of the game. Even now, people are still do like this to troll, whatever. And I don't like. I really don't like it. Like I've said this before in the past. I do not like Wrecking Ball as a hero, as a design. I feel like he's.
It would be so easy to make him more appropriate if they just would not let him stay hooked onto things and just swing around at will.
I know what you mean. I feel like he should only be able to stick onto things for like at most like 6 or 7 seconds.
For a skill-based competitive game, what sense does it make to have someone hold down one button and hold their L stake in D10 for fucking however long they want and actually be viable?
You know, and it's crazy because it essentially forces you off of your comp, because the only way you could counter that is to pull, either a Mei, put a wall up to stop him from rotating, or a Sombra to hack him out of a ball. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you got to do so much to get him out of what he's doing, and
by then he's already wasted how much of your time?
Right. I mean, we already have Bastion for that. We don't need another Bastion, and we discussed last week about how Bastion will pretty much deal with, but Wrecking Ball was definitely a hero we did not need. On top of the fact that he added, the CC in Overwatch got increased like by 1,000 because of Wrecking Ball. Like, I remember
like that, along with the Symmetra's teleporter, when she can just put it up and you can stall. Like, I really do not appreciate the love that is being built in the Overwatch culture for stalling.
I know what you mean.
Stalling is not a skill unless you're doing it with a character who has something to put on the line. With Hammond and Symmetra, there's nothing being put on the line to stall. There's no skill in it. It's literally just you're getting an extra boost to keep you in the game, and it's annoying.
Man, you've never stalled as these characters. I'm actually playing Hammond right now. It's interesting that you guys have brought him up. One of the hardest things about Hammond is understanding how his string works. It's not his hook works. It's not just like, oh yeah, you hook on and then. So of course, there's a few points where he can just hook on and roll in a circle and it's easy. Mm-hmm. But
my argument is not that Hammond isn't a skill-based character. There's plenty of skill that goes into the character, but the fact that it does not take much to hook on to something and spin in a circle on certain maps is just ridiculous. You can pick Hammond up first time and figure out how to do that.
I mean, of course.
No, but you can argue the same thing about Bastion. Or freaking
we already had the argument about Bastion.
We should argue the same thing about learning how to fly with Pharah is super easy. It's not hard. It took me 2 tries.
But flying as Pharah isn't going to stall a point, and Pharah is very easy to counter.
Yeah, he's talking about the parts. He's talking about the mechanics that are so easy to learn that essentially break the game at a lower level. Because I guarantee you, if I were to go to a bronze match right now and then go Wrecking Ball, because first of all, Wrecking Ball, because he's a ball form, he has the fastest movement in the game. Like, no one's faster than Wrecking Ball. He gets in and out of fights in a heartbeat. Like, you just don't. You waste your time chasing him. You waste your time trying to, and that's what,
stalling with Tracer, Genji, maybe even Doomfist. That takes skill.
That takes so much skill.
I have respect for it. If you're stalling as those characters, that means your timing is down. Your game sense is up. That means you're thinking at
resource
a higher
management,
level about the game.
All that is just your especially Doomfist. I give Doomfist stallers. I don't know how to do it.
You earned that stall. You didn't just
go in there.
Handed to you.
Yeah, you didn't go in there, grab the damn statue at point B on Paris and rotate at the top of the statue where you're not even hitting anything, and you're Wrecking Ball.
But there's easy counters. It's not like that's the thing though. Is that
no. There's easy
counters.
Counters. Oh yeah, there's counters, but it's not easy. It essentially takes a team effort. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it requires hard switches. Like if you're running Pharah, Genji, right, Winston, Diva. What are you gonna do to stop that?
And you're rolling with this, and you're about to win. Suddenly they pull out a Hammond, and he just starts putting a point. Yeah. You then have to change your whole comp on spot.
Those 4 heroes I just called out aren't doing anything, even as a collective group. Winston, Diva, Farah, Genji, they're not doing anything to win to Wrecking Ball. They would have the
Yo,
Farah and
wait,
they would have
wait.
to go either Junkrat McCree, Junkrat Sombra, McCree, something with stuns or something to stop them from.
That could be easily countered with a single May. There have been so many times where I'm playing Wrecking
yeah,
Ball
of
and I get
course.
shut down by a May very quickly.
I mean,
Well, see, here's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about convention. You're thinking about conventional Hammond rotation where he's just on the ground rotating.
yeah,
No, I'm talking about when
I know
he's
exactly
in ball form
what
and he's
John.
going up and around.
I know exactly what John's talking about because it was at Paris where John got hella pissed. We were playing at Paris and this Wrecking Ball comes in and grabs the top of the statue on point B, and he was swinging around at a perfect like horizontal like
I tried to get him with McCree. My
you
stun
couldn't.
would not.
It would not. Yeah, he was up in the air. You could
Now,
not.
Granted, that is a bit of a map flaw as well.
Yeah,
but
it also takes skill to be able to hit that part of the statue. It's not like you just freaking like you just walk up to the statue.
No. If you're moving,
if you're moving at the statue's head, and you're set.
If you're moving, okay,
you just hold your L3 and D10, and you're good.
If you hit it while you're moving, okay, I give you credit. But most Wrecking Balls don't do that. They sit. I mean, come on, you see it happen. They sit, they aim their crossers, and then they latch on and they do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? That's what most Wrecking Balls do. At least in this level. Rarely do you see Wrecking Ball.
That's the reason why the Wrecking Balls are only pulled out for stall moments. That's the reason why most people don't play Wrecking Balls.
And that's the point. That's the point we're talking. No, that's the argument John's making. The fact that it takes a switch, a niche switch like that, and then requires no skill, and all of a sudden you got the whole team back on point, and all you did was go Wrecking Ball and grapple onto a statue and swing around and crazy and avoid hits. And the only way to get stopped is to pretty much get hard countered, because most comps don't. Cause it's rare. I rarely remember a time where they put out a Wrecking Ball, and he wasn't a problem when the gates opened. Wrecking Ball's always a problem when the gates open, unless you have a Junkrat who has a well-placed trap somewhere, or the team expected it, prematurely. But rarely
I have a lot of respect for people who play Wrecking Ball, and they're in the back line, they're annoying.
Those Wrecking Balls, I give them so much credit.
That's so much credit, because that actually takes skill, timing, being able to get in and out quickly without getting your shit fucked up, and it takes working with the team. That's very skillful. That's a credit to Overwatch. But whenever it comes down, those Hammonds will always do the same thing whenever their back's against the wall, and it's going to be attached to some point on the point and swing around.
I will say this. Outside of the realm of point stalling, I do agree that May is a hard counter to ball. I mean, she's a hard counter to pretty much every tank in the game.
I play May a lot.
I love May.
May is a hard counter.
You put a wall up to stop his rotation, or you freeze him while he's trying to get away. You put a wall up so he can't get away, and you pretty much got him.
Here's my thing. I feel like May's freeze. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Hammond's kit is really, really specific. There's only 3 methods for him to actually damage somebody. If you hit somebody while you're in ball form as you're swinging, and that's only at high speeds. If you slam down, which you only get once every 8 seconds, or the 80 clip that's not that great. It's like a weaker version of Soldier's hit scan.
Look, dude, my issue is not with Hammond as a character; it's just with one of his abilities.
Yeah,
that's it.
I feel like the grapple.
I've watched. Do you know who Hardblue is? The number 1 ranked Roadhog. I've watched him play Hammond. It is literally art. It is so entertaining because he's doing so many things at once, and he's so efficient with his movements, his resource management. It's literally so fun to watch him play Hammond. It makes me want to play Hammond, but. One thing he does not do because he's not a fucking cheese ball is he doesn't attach the point. He'll attach the point to make a play and get people moved out of position, but he doesn't just stay there and swing around forever.
I feel like the grapple should have a limited time of how long you grapple. I feel like 6 or 7 seconds. If you can't do what you're trying to do
I feel like you should be able to grapple, and then once your movement starts, once you have finished your movement or you has come to termination point, it should go on a cooldown for 12 seconds. Not 12 seconds, 8 seconds.
I feel like the cooldown is on, right? Well, actually, no. What is the cooldown, DJ?
Cooldown is 5 seconds.
That's on the fence for me. That's on the fence. I feel like 7 or 8 would be a little bit better. But I'm not a developer of Overwatch, obviously, so I wouldn't know the numbers.
Seeing how much of his movement is dictated upon
exactly.
Just don't let him just sit there and hold on. That's all I'm asking.
I feel like he shouldn't be holding on to an object for, an indefinite amount of time until he either gets stunned or he decides to let go. I feel like that in itself is broken because I've seen plays where, you know, and they've been patched this, but I'm just like, there was a time when Wrecking Ball first came out, and on the map that Wrecking Ball thrives at, Nepal, Shrine, right? There's a huge pillar in the middle. Every Wrecking Ball likes to go there. That map and somewhat Oasis Gardens, but not really. But if you grab a certain point, I forget what point it is, and you swing over and you hit the roof of the point, you're still considered on point. And I've seen Wrecking Balls point stall by just sitting up there. They're on the roof, grappled up to some point underneath the point or on the point somewhere, and they're registered as on point, and the enemy can't touch them for obvious reasons because he's on the roof. And I feel like if that grapple had you could only say it had like a meter on screen, like Diva's defense matrix, you know what I'm saying? It tells you how much you have left of holding on to something. You know what I'm saying? Like then stuff like that wouldn't be a thing, but it's not, and that's why, even though Wrecking Ball is a fun character to watch and everything, he has broken aspects because I feel like he shouldn't be hanging on to things for too long. But
that's literally all they need to fix about the dude.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather take like 5 seconds of it being hooked onto something and be able to just like if they were to switch the cooldown almost like instead of it being like every time you unhook you got a 5-second cooldown, it's like every time you hook you have 5 seconds before the hook releases.
Whoa. Every time you hook.
So every time you hook onto something, you got 5 seconds before it releases, but there's no cooldown on the hook.
So you mean to tell me the hook comes out, you latch onto to like a wall, and that's when the 5 seconds starts?
Yeah,
that's broken.
Oh,
that's broken.
That's the thing.
That's hella broken. Because think about it, they did that same thing to Sombra. Now Sombra's ridiculous. Sombra, her buff.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like that. But that's what it's. That's what it's like. That's what you guys are asking for. You're saying like basically.
No.
If was to hook onto something.
No, I'm saying.
You only have a certain amount of time before the hook releases, right?
Oh, sorry, I reread your thing wrong. I thought you meant like he has a cooldown on the hook. So like if you'd wait 5 seconds, he could let go of the hook and then he could just put it out again. That's what I thought you were saying.
No. I don't mean like. I mean like literally when Hammond puts on uses hooks onto something, he hooks on. And that's it.
You're right.
You have 5 seconds before the hook releases.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Then you have to wherever you were, like no matter what you're doing, you'd be up in the air. If the hook releases, you go flying.
Pretty much, yeah.
But like you can hook again immediately.
That's a good question.
So
that's a good.
So you see what I'm saying? Like when I say like reverse the cooldown, instead of there being a cooldown on the hook itself, there'd be a cooldown while you're hooked.
Yeah, but then again, that kind of guarantees him. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Because then it would require skill. But
yeah,
it would require
skill. To pull it off.
To stall.
Yeah, you have a window of time to do what you got to do, and then that's.
You need to like figure out rotating yourself back towards where you're trying to like hold on to, and get back onto it and continue. Because obviously, if you stop like spinning or something, you lose momentum. Once you lose momentum, as like Hammond, you're no longer really
right. Yeah, I feel like that would be much better that way. Like so it's pretty much his hook, like. Deployment itself doesn't have a cooldown, but once it's deployed, you have 5 seconds to use it, and then I feel like that would work. I feel like they would honestly. I feel like they would add like a 1 second cooldown once the hook like detaches, kind of like how Sigma has 1 second on his shield. You know what I mean? Like when he brings it back to himself, just to give him some type of window of vulnerability, because I mean,
pretty much the way I play Hammond is almost like I'm playing fucking Spider-Man. Like, you hook up when you're flying through the air and you're counting down for that next hook. And if you can catch that next hook before you hit the ground, you swing off to somewhere else and you're legit hamster Spider-Man.
Pretty much. Yo, with Eric? Eric, you been quiet, bro. You got anything to say about this Wrecking Ball
thing? No, I don't care, man. Someone said it earlier, the easiest way to counter him is honestly a main. It's honestly a main, a Brig, a McCree, or a Junkrat. We just don't do it. We don't.
That's the thing, though. It requires a whole team swap, and that was the whole argument.
Not a whole team swap, just one person. I mean, the Junkrat could
I
go and
mean,
put
we
his
just named
traps
2
on the
DPS.
floor.
I mean, that's true. That's the thing,
Make a
though.
focus just that person,
And then
or the rig, or the McCree. It's not
A
that
good
hard.
Hammond isn't
They're just,
going to let
See,
themselves be
and
caught.
that-
And, like
and-
even if they get stunned by a McCree, like
you still have to finish
they
him
can still
off.
armor up in that moment before he dies, and he basically is just back in the game.
Right. But honestly, I just feel like Wrecking Ball was a bad addition to the game from the start. Anyway, I didn't really like him.
No. Definitely not.
I know.
Like,
I'm saying that's my personal opinion. Because
He's actually a very high skill based character. It's just that he has one broken feature that
no.
makes him.
What I mean by like he's a bad addition to the game. Like when Wrecking Ball came out, he essentially whose mic is that in the background, by the way? I don't know.
I think it might be Stevens.
Oh,
It's not
His
mine.
mic was being a little gargly.
some,
Can y'all hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Who's
it still
that?
happening?
Yeah.
Is it like a beeping sound or something?
No, that's not it. It's like someone's.
Sounds like someone's rustling paper.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard that, so it can't be me.
Eric, is that you?
nah, bro.
Is it still happening?
I'm not doing nothing.
No, it's like it's subtle. But anyway, it's kind of stopped now. But
Might have been I was charging my mic.
what I mean by I feel like he was a bad addition to the game was the nature of when Wrecking Ball came out, the nature of Overwatch like switched. Now there was so much. I mean, like, I said this before. There's so much CC because of him alone. I remember going to like whenever you see Lucio on Ilios Well or Ilios Lighthouse, you know Lucio was the scariest thing to deal with. You know, getting booped off. Now Wrecking Ball is like 3 times scarier to deal with when you're on the edge because he could just swing in and just knock off, you know, like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 people easily. And then it's like you don't really need to be looking on this. Like, you just got to be looking in a certain direction, and then you just go in there and roll. You know what I'm saying? You know how I feel about CC. I hate CC. I feel like CC outside of like Lucio Boop and Junkrat Mine is the most ridiculous thing ever. There's too many characters with CC now. There's way too many characters. The only good CC in the game that requires legitimate skill, in my opinion, is Orisa Holt. Because
I'd argue that Lucio's boop is hard as
no.
fuck.
What I mean by skill, I mean like to actually fully maximize the hell out of it. Because you know, Orisa's Holt is essentially a miniature graph. You could set up so many big plays with that. I mean, if you watch Overwatch League, there's that the very first play of the finals was Sinatra getting a Doomfist meteor strike, and right before he landed, Orisa pulled the whole team right in the center of the circle. You know, there's been plays where you do that, and then Lucio boops the whole team off the map. You know, you do the Orisa pull, and then you know Tracer gets a stick on one of the people in there, and then kills all of them. You know, what I'm saying? You're essentially having a third tank ultimate, without having to switch over to Zarya. You know, you don't see that much down here because we're in plat and gold, but you know that requires so much skill that I've never really hated, Holt. But other than that, I feel like CC is the most retarded, nature of Overwatch. Like imagine playing Call of Duty, bro. Imagine playing Call of Duty.
Slayers on the podcast.
Imagine playing Call of Duty and then like there's an ability that somebody does that knocks you 10 feet back, and you're about to get a kill on somebody. You know what I mean? That's essentially what's going on in Overwatch. You could have somebody lined up and then Lucio just boop the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? But see, but Lucio's one of the original, crowd control characters, so I have nothing against it. Same with I guess you could count Roadhog as crowd control as well, but not really. I don't know. But
oh my god, I legit spent this whole time wondering what the fuck CC meant. I was like, what the fuck is CC?
Yo.
Farrah has CC too, John. Come on, bro.
I was like, I don't want to be stupid or nothing. But I was like,
Farrah has CC too. Farrah's CC is also probably one of the most the most fun knockbacks in the game because it's I won't say it's hard to hit. It's tricky to hit because you gotta.
Agree, bro. My favorite one is to like you get into a McCree who's like just dead set after you or a soldier. And like
you go down,
and then pop back up and boop. Oh, it's my favorite. Give him a little hello afterwards.
Make him look stupid.
So satisfying.
But anyway, but that was pretty much it for Overwatch 2. We don't know when that's coming out. I feel like it's gonna be coming. You know what? Honestly, I'm calling this right now. It's coming out holiday 2020. I'm calling this out right now because.
Whoa.
I'm calling this out right now, bro. I'm calling it because that's when PS5.
I said the same. I said this, and I said we were gonna get a new character for before 2020.
No, I said
I think,
of course
I
we'll
don't
get a
think
new
it's gonna
character.
come out
Oh,
holiday
you said
2020. That's
holiday
a
2020.
Holiday
I thought you
2020,
meant
bro.
Wars, bro.
Nah,
Oh,
no,
damn.
I'm calling out. Think
Nah,
about
we're gonna get
bro.
away before
When are we
that.
gonna get it? When are we gonna get it? In the middle, like in the summer?
Summer,
Bro,
yeah.
Think
I
about
said
it, bro.
this-
Think about it, bro. Bro, the PS5 and the new Xbox come out at the same time on holiday 2020, right? That's easily one of the best times to drop games when new consoles drop.
But even if they do drop it, you would think everybody's immediately just gonna buy a PS5 just for Overwatch 2?
No, that's not what I'm.
Fuck yeah.
No. First of all, you don't have to buy a PS5 for Overwatch. But think about the people who don't have a PS4 and they want to get a new console. Oh snap! While you're at it, Overwatch 2 just came out. Might as well get this too. You know what I'm saying? Because you
And make it a bundle. Fuck it.
Exactly, and you got to remember too. You got to remember. I don't know about Xbox Scarlet, but PS5 is also backwards compatible with PS4. So if you already
Wait,
have
pause. What the fuck is Xbox Scarlet?
that's the new Xbox. That's what they're calling it, Xbox Scarlet. I don't know why.
Project Scarlet.
I'm not gonna say anything.
What
because
was
I
the
don't
point?
wanna be biased.
What was the point of calling it Xbox One if you were going to call it Xbox Two? But I don't know. But
They were already at 360. Why'd you go to 1?
I don't know. Why did you even go to 360?
Went in the full circle.
To win full. I hate Steven. But no, seriously, I don't know why they even went to 360 because it was Xbox and then 360 and then Xbox One. Now Xbox Scarlet. Like they just like what's next? Xbox.
It's gonna be Xbox Green, Xbox
X Cube.
When the
Xbox
PS4
Gear Day.
when the PS4 dropped, wasn't it the problem where there was only like 3 games for like the longest?
Yeah, like Destiny and
I don't know because I bought a PS4.
I think the same thing
No, Uncharted was
happened
not on the launch
with
of PS. Uncharted was on the
Little
launch
Big
of the
Planet was Little Big Planet.
Little Big
Oh,
No,
Planet. Yes.
PS4. Sorry, PS4. I'm thinking of PS3. My bad.
I don't know. I didn't buy a PS4 till a year later, and by the time I bought a PS4, they had a whole ton of games to choose from. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
when the PS4 first came out, for like the first couple months, there wasn't shit to play besides.
But this
like,
is also
3
this is
games.
also
Oh,
before
no,
time.
and-
This is also
and-
before backwards compatibility.
Infamous Second Son came out on that joint too. That was the big game that came out when
That was
PS4.
I can read off a couple of games just off the top of my head. It was like Infamous Second Son, Lords of the Fallen, Final Fantasy Type 0,
Didn't
Destiny,
SSX?
Final Fantasy 14.
No, Destiny. No, Destiny wasn't out yet.
Yeah, when the
No,
PS4
no, no,
dropped.
no. Destiny came out in 2014.
Yeah, bro. When the PS4 dropped.
2013 is when the PS4 dropped.
What?
Yeah.
No, I thought it dropped in fucking.
2013, bro. It's 6 years old, bro. It was November 2013.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I bought it in like early January.
Yeah, I bought my PS4. I bought my PS4 in November 2014. But yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like holiday 2020 is like in the gaming industry the perfect time for Overwatch 2 to come out. It just makes sense because first of all, they haven't released the release date yet. They haven't announced a release date, so this could honestly come out at any time. But given the fact that the console generation is about to end, it wouldn't make any sense to release the game on this platform. Because PC doesn't matter. PC is a there's no PC generation technically. It's just
But that's
PC.
the thing. PC. You think console is their main concern?
Exactly. No, but it's not their main concern, but it sure is an asset. Where they're making their money. You know what I'm saying? Like
They're making their money from Overwatch League.
I mean, yeah, of course. But even before Overwatch League was a
That's
thing,
on PC.
even before Overwatch League was a thing, though, they had to consider, how they're going to optimize the most money on other platforms, because who's going to care about buying Overwatch 2 on a PS4 and then the PS5 comes out,
Yeah, listen.
Because they can just port it over.
You would
That's
think
true.
that their focus would be the PC players, but it's not. It's the platform. It's the people who have PS4 and Xbox. That's where all the kids are. Those are the people
No,
who are gonna see
no. That's false. That's false. That is absolutely false. That is false. Blizzard does not cater to kids. That's Epic Games.
I'm not saying it's catering exactly to kids, but all these companies are gonna want to cater to not a younger audience per se, but definitely someone more a little more younger, where they have someone who's gonna grow with
They're
the
trying
game,
to.
bro.
No, that's not Blizzard. Not Blizzard. Blizzard is not targeted for
Blizzard
a
is
younger
catering
audience.
to their
Yeah,
cash cow right now,
right,
which
Yeah,
is
think about the
Overwatch
games
League.
that Blizzard produces. They're
bro.
never
They're
they're never
never.
E or anything. They put out Overwatch, Diablo, I don't know.
Dota.
That's pretty much all I know.
All of their games are more oriented towards
StarCraft,
adults.
they're all very adult. They're all
Right.
very adult-like
And on top
games.
of that, they're not. I don't want to say easy, but they're not simple. You know, they take there's a learning curve. You know, like you got to learn these games, which is why
Yeah, man.
I don't
Yeah,
like Fortnite.
you're not just hopping on these games and
Right.
just going at it.
That's why about Epic Games, because Epic Games is clearly, at least at one point, I can't speak for it now because we don't play Fortnite like that anymore. But Epic Games was clearly catered for younger, like a much younger audience. It was ridiculous. It was so obvious, like with the emotes and the nerfs to mats and all that stuff in there. But I'm not about Overwatch. I mean Fortnite. But yeah. So regardless of when Overwatch 2 comes out, honestly, I'm not too sure if I'm excited about it yet. I'll have to get my hands on it first, try it out. DJ seems really excited for it.
I'm excited for the new game mode.
The new game mode does sound dope. Don't get me wrong. That does. I mean, I did say that the new game mode sounds like something I'll really get into, only because it's brand new, not because it's good or anything, but only because it's brand new. Anything new added to Overwatch, I get hyped for. You would think that'd be the maps, but the maps are just meh. Havana was okay. Was the last map we got? It was Havana, right? Is that what it was?
We got to talk about.
The last map we got was Havana. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anyway, moving on. So,
I think with all of this talk, we can transition into the PTR. Speaking of
this
qualms we have with characters and things going on. Oh boy, there's PTR. Patch notes.
So before I get into the discussion, I'm just gonna go ahead. Steven here? Steven, you here?
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're good. You're good. I'm gonna read the patch notes. Wait.
Before we get into this, anybody have anything crazy that happened to them during the week?
I went to work and went to sleep. Anyway.
All right. Well, I got something. It's fucking totally crazy. I was driving down yesterday, right? Yesterday night. No one on the road except for plows, right? Because it was snowing really bad. There's one dude dancing at a stop bus, bro. At a stop. I thought he was gonna cross, so I stopped. Because it was also a yield, like intersection, whatever, where they cross. So I'm like, go, and I noticed that he's just looking at me and he keeps dancing. I'm like, what the fuck? So I just drove away, right? I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. He yells, hey! And just starts... I swear to God, you guys are gonna sound fucking crazy. You guys are gonna go crazy. Starts fire breathing, bro. Fire breathing. Starts throwing fucking fire at his mouth, bro.
What?
Had that shit in his mouth ready, bro. He's a professional dance fighter with sticks and shit, but he's practicing without his
Professional
stick.
street performer, you mean?
No, not street performer, like those people that perform with the loose sticks and shit, like.
Yeah, a street performer.
Yeah, cause I was like, I had to ask, you know me. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you just spit fire at your fucking mouth? He's like, yeah, I'm whatever. I was like, the dance I'm doing. He's like, I'm pretending to have my stick in my hand. He's like, and I'm just practicing my fire. And I was like, so you have gasoline inside you? He's like, no. He's like, he explained to me what he could do. He could do what David Blaine did. He could swallow gasoline and spit it all back out later.
All put it in the stomach, yeah.
Yeah, yep. He has control of his full diaphragm. And he could spit out water, spit out all that shit back out whenever he wants.
Do you see the how they did that, or where they came up with that idea?
No, I never saw that.
Some dude in Africa, right, was his village. They didn't have access to clean water.
Oh,
so what he
yep,
would do is he would store water and to clean his clothes and to drink and stuff. It's crazy, man. I have a crazy story to tell you guys as well. I didn't realize this until now. Yo, so dude, you ever get like hitchhikers like waiting? Like you've seen hitchhikers, obviously, right?
Yes.
I was walking down my street to go to my car. It was parked, and I was warming it up. And I see this old lady, and I've never seen her before. I've never seen her before. Okay, I'm walking down the street to warm my car up, and I'm like, okay, she looks innocent. That's fine. And then out of nowhere, dude, I'm driving down, and she like waves me. She waves me down, dude. She waves me down, and she's like, stop, stop, stop. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not stopping for shit, dude. Or no, I did stop, but then like I was like slowing down, and she started running to my car, dude. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yo, you know it's
But
crazy. The
bro, but
same
like
thing.
she looked like she was going to a funeral, dude, and that scared the crap out of me because I thought it was a ghost. And I just have like
Yo, answer
weird
one
vibes.
question. Was she kind of hot?
No, dude, she was like 60 years old, bro.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yo, she
Yeah,
was wearing
nope.
like the
I
weirdest
fucking
fashion.
100%
Listen,
do not
listen,
stop.
listen to this. Listen to this. This happened to me in Arlington, and my dad was pissed that I even stopped. I was with my dad, right? And his car broke down, so we're driving back, and he's like, "Yo, look, that lady needs help. She's running like she was like trying like in the middle of the street, bro, telling cars to stop. Car drove by her. We kind of slowed down, and the same thing happened, bro. She started running towards our car, and she kind and like luckily I was at my car locked, because I have a fear that my door will sometimes open when I turn, and I'm gonna fall out. I don't know why. So I was locked my car, right? So
I
she
feel you.
goes for my door handle, bro, and I go, bro, I fucking rip it, bro. You know what happens next? A fucking white van pulls out from the stop. It was a white van that was parked on the side street, turned with the lights off, and I didn't see it. The car pulls out. She jumps in and they dip. Crazy, right?
Oh,
That
that's
shit happened.
good.
That shit happened 2 years ago. I just remembered that right now. 2 years
Yo,
ago.
you know what? You know what's crazy? Now that you said that, like my friends are like idiots, and they one time picked up this girl who was on the side of the street. She must have been a prostitute or something like that. But yo, my buddy had like one of those vans that like those hey, we want some candy vans. Um, and they legit stopped and let her get into the car, and she was like, "I'll suck all your dicks now for $5." And I was like, "Why the fuck would you ever? Why the fuck would you ever
All right,
let her get into your
all right.
car?"
All right, we're gonna do this patch notes, but I'm gonna end it later with a story of my dad picking up a tranny hooker. Oh man, I got
A
a story.
tranny hooker?
Yeah, yeah. You go ahead, Ed. Back to the patch notes.
Sorry.
The way I just cleared his throat.
That was so out of left field. Like I don't understand. But anyway,
We need our audience. Depends on who's listening, because we have people like.
I get it. I get it. I get
Listen,
it. I get it.
wait,
I
wait,
get it.
wait,
I get it.
wait,
I get
wait,
it. I get
wait.
it. I get it. I get it.
All
I get
right,
no,
clearly,
seriously, I get it.
whatever.
I
Fuck
get it.
it,
I get
whatever.
it.
Go
I get
ahead,
it.
go ahead. Fuck it. I'm not gonna get my opinion in this situation.
Anyway, the patch notes. First of all, you got anything you want to say real quick, DJ? Just to get us ready for this thing before I start reading this off.
Bro, Diva's a main tank again.
Why you say that?
Read the patch notes off.
All right, here we go. Yo, so before we even get to Diva, the first hero that comes up in this patch notes is Orisa, right? So he's what I was trying to tell you earlier today, about why I take back what I said about Orisa, like what last week or
Just
whatever.
read them all.
So
Then say
the
shit.
base armor goes from 200 to 250. That's on her health pool. Her
Yo, you're
base.
forgetting something very important. Read
What's
the
up?
patch note before that.
Oh, my
About
fault. My
armor-
fault. My fault.
armor
Yeah,
reduction.
that's my fault. You're right. Armor damage reduction increased from 3 to 5. So pretty much they're undoing everything from the goats meta. So pretty much tanks are tankier. Like they're tankier. So I forgot what armor does. Is like every 3 damage gets taken off from damage or something like that. And if you do 10 damage, it gets cut in half or something. I don't know. It's just something ridiculous. But pretty much tanks can
For
take more
armor,
damage
yeah.
now. Yeah, tanks can take more damage. So that being said, Orisa her base armor gets increased from 200 to 250. Her fusion driver, which is her gun, she gets her movement speed penalty reduced from 30% to 20%. Meaning when she shoots, she moves quicker. She moves much faster. But the downside is her protective barrier goes from 900 HP to 600 HP. And I'm just like, bro, like she's essentially becoming a more like I don't know how to. I mean, I'll keep reading this thing. And her cooldown from Fortify got decreased from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. So now she'll have Fortify more often. That's another thing I did not notice. I thought her whole rework was just her shield and her speed penalty. But now looking at all this, bro, I'm just like, on top of the fact that armor also got increased, the damage reduction got increased. Yeah, Orisa is about to be like unkillable. I mean, we could have killed him the other day, DJ. When we were playing on Temple of Anubis. Now imagine her now when this patch comes out, whenever it comes out, it's gonna be crazy. Next on the list is Sigma. His barrier got decreased from 1500 to 900. Barrier health regeneration got reduced from 150 per second to 120 health per second. So that's a hard nerf. That's a hard nerf. His his kinetic grass cooldown reduced from 13 seconds to 10 seconds. That's a buff, and his damage to shield ratio increased from 40% to 60%. That's a that's a buff. That's a hard buff. So Sigma, I feel like it's not gonna change. Like gameplay, like game style wise, I feel like he still could be pretty like a good pick. Obviously you got to be more smart with the barriers, but he's gonna be, I think his kinetic grass gonna have way more value now. Like you got in order to, you can't waste them, pretty much. Especially, but then again, it's gonna be harder to waste them because they're 3 seconds shorter on the cooldown. And the one that I don't want to get into, Jesus Christ, why did they do this? Reduced from 2,000 to 1,600, and I don't like this at all, DJ. I don't like this at all, bro. I really don't. Even with the speed boost, he moves half as fast now. I'm just like, I really don't like it. But they did buff his knockback resistance from 30% to 50%, and so pretty much like we were talking about this last week. I know you said this. You said earlier today that you feel like the healers will have more to. No. What you say about the healers? I forgot what you said about the healers. You said something about
You're gonna need to be putting out thicker heals.
Yeah.
I always say it as thicker heals is basically you're gonna have to focus more on healing and less on doing DPS.
It's gonna be a. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a big ass difference between like essentially with this PTR patch, Zen is so far out the meta that he's unplayable.
I mean,
at the same, it takes him out as like a healer and puts him in as a support. Mm-hmm. But people like Zen is gonna be out the meta. Playing Brigitte is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be much more difficult because there's not gonna be so much Reinhardt shield to like. Oh no, I take that back. Not Brigitte. Ana. Ana's gonna be harder to play. Like these are characters that require you to constantly be like healing one person at a time. The CC healers are gonna be like up and out. I think you're talking about Barsky. Barsky was the one who was saying that Zen is gonna be like one of the bigger healers now, and I disagree with that one. I think that it's gonna be the healer meta is going to be Bat Brig, or because Moira's healing is going down. Like actually still Lucio Mora, but I think Bap and Brig are about to hit the meta hard, considering that Brig's like a good chunk of Brig's health.
I feel like they're gonna have to eventually like rebuff what's his face, Immortality Field, because like I mean, then again, I don't know. I feel like Immortality Field isn't really useful at this point anymore. I mean, unless it's well placed.
100% back. Brig is 100% back in the meta, though.
I mean, of course, bro. Because now think about it. When that damn rally comes out, it's gonna be impossible. Armor. It's gonna be impossible to break through that. Like you're gonna have to put out hella. I mean, it's gonna now. Obviously,
It's gonna be.
Go ahead.
Okay. So what I was gonna say was that like because they're taking down shields, the fights are gonna be. Fights are gonna be faster. It's gonna be more about who can put out the most damage, as opposed to who can hold out the longest. Because the game up until this point has pretty much been okay. Well, if you get into a team fight, who's holding out the longest? Who can keep their players alive the longest? Who can do this the longest? Now it's gonna be like who can kill the other team faster.
Pretty much.
That's your main focus. Is like, all right, Fuck the shields. There's not going to be any. Like, you're going to have like more often than not, like a diva would be a better choice for a main tank now than like say if you're going for like the main tank, the person to like be eating this damage. It'd probably have to be like Diva or Sigma, because Sigma is like his damage thingy, and the fact that when you read farther in, we'll go farther in on Diva. Her defense matrix is getting cut from 2 second cooldown to 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking huge.
I feel like
that's her original.
It's gonna be Diva's gonna be a crazy. Oh my goodness, she's gonna be a crazy tank in the game. Now that I think about it, bro, because Diva was her and Winston weren't touched. I mean, obviously because they already had buffs previous patches, but like especially Diva who has shield? Zarya is the only tank that has shields, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure.
Sigma has shields too.
And Sigma, okay. So Diva essentially is gonna be a bully again. Remember how ridiculous Diva used to be, where it was like you could not get her out of mech. It required the whole team to get her out of mech. Now it's gonna be that all over again. On top of the fact that she has a faster, no, not faster. She has more uptime on her defense matrix. She's gonna be eating a lot more damage. Pretty much, making it harder for people to get damage onto her.
Yeah, they're bringing dive comp back in.
I mean, yeah,
Winston's gonna have the second. Yeah, Winston's gonna have the second most shield dude.
Speaking of dive comp, has anyone visited the topic of Speed Force Reinhardt?
I was gonna get to that once we got off this armor thing, but you talk about how he has faster movement ability when his shield is up.
Not just that, like his movement when the shield is up is already like ridiculous. Like you can literally just move on this dude, walk by in a shield. But what I saw today was somebody comboed that with a Lucio speed boost. The dude fucking flies, dog.
When his shield is up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The dude fucking flies, shield up and all. Reinhardt's a dive tank now.
Jesus Christ.
It may get nerfed or whatnot in the PTR, but the dude with that shield up can literally fucking fly.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like this. I feel like it's gonna cancel out the shield nerfs and the movement buff. I really don't know. And this is the first time where I've looked at an upcoming patch, and I've genuinely feel like concerned about the game.
I have no idea what's gonna happen next.
What are you concerned about?
I'm concerned about art. So obviously, as somebody who plays a lot of Ryan, one skill that you learn over time just from playing the game is shield management. Knowing when to have your shield up, knowing how much time you need to put your shield down, have your shield down to get to a certain threshold of quote unquote good, like enough shield HP to get back into the fight. Now with 400 of that health gone, I know me personally, I'm gonna be going in thinking, all right, I essentially have 400 of my HP, 400 of my shield just taken away from me, like at any given moment. So pretty much at any part of the fight, what would have been X amount of shield is now X minus 400 amount of shield, regardless of if we're winning or losing.
So can I just
go ahead?
So they've taken less. They've subtracted the 400 from his shield, but they've given him a speed boost.
They've given him his speed penalty when his shield is up has gone from 50. So right now, when his shield is up, he moves 50% slower. Now he moves 25% slower. So he's pretty much moving
add a general Lucio speed boost on top of that. I'd say it goes down to about 15. I don't know these actual numbers, but that's what it appears. And then if Lucio amps it up, this dude is literally just sprinting at you with his shield up.
Jesus Christ. I
kind of like. I mean, I don't know.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. That's like an ability that's gonna be happening every once in a while. I mean, that's good for initiating fights and everything. But I'm thinking like mid fight where Lucio can't afford to put that speed boost down. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be having heals.
But here's what I'm thinking for beginning fight. Think about this. Think about fucking. Okay, let's say King's Row. Easy. You got Kingsor, you got a Sigma, and you got a. They're holding right next to the statue, not a Choke, but next to the statue. You got a Sigma, and you got a Orisa. Both shields up. They're both behind their shields, put in damage. You sprint in there. Lucio amps it up as soon as he hits the choke. Reinhardt's going full charge in them, and all he has to do is charge. He's already amped up in speed. He's already flying at you, and then he charges. And then the rest of you, he's gonna charge and pin the Rein, more likely the Sigma, because she can fortify. And all your team has to do is fall in on that charge, pick the Sigma, and the fight is literally going on behind the team. That's how fast they're moving. And they're already on point behind you, and you're having to fight them on point from your backs. That's what I see happening. That's what I see being a huge tactic in this meta.
You know, I agree with that. But on the another side of the coin is this Orisa movement buff as well. Because
it's the same thing with Reinhardt.
I mean, that's what I mean. But I feel like
actually no, because her shield isn't mobile, so that's actually different.
And not only that, she essentially is. She could almost match Reinhardt's like durability now, because
because you could just go in with her. She fortifies. She basically body blocks. You go in behind her, give her a decent healer. She's a shield herself at that point.
And on top of that, she moves faster while she's shooting, so she could essentially she could probably. Don't be surprised if you see Orisa start chasing kills, or this person's around the corner. He goes around the corner.
Her little cow body,
right? It's just running after, right? Running after you, bro. Like Orisa. You know, a week ago, I said Orisa's gonna be dead. I feel like Orisa's shield. I feel like Orisa has been downgraded to like not really off tank, not necessarily off tank, but like a good, like secondary main tank. So if you run a Ryan,
oh my god!
If you run, hold on, wait. If you run Reinhardt, Orisa is clearly taking lead, and you could put like Orisa's barrier just to take in incoming damage. You know what I'm saying? It's only 600 because now with the 600 HP shield, the shield itself, you're gonna need to use it differently. You're gonna need to use it like Winston Bubble, because Winston Bubble was 600 HP, a few months ago before they buffed it to 700. You'd have to use it like let's say. You wanna dive in real quick, pop the wrist real quick. Forget it's there. You put it. You just forget about it. You're not gonna have it till like another 10 seconds. Is that what it is, or whatever the cooldown is? You gotta have only 10 seconds. You put that shield down, and then depend only on Reinhardt's shield. That wrist is just gonna be there to take the initial Junkrat damage, the initial Zarya grenades, the initial Widow shots, the initial anything, Sigma. So pretty much keep you guys safe for a set amount of time. Once the shield goes down, you depend on the Reinhardt shield, while Orisa walks around fortified, and pretty much jogging while she's shooting, and she's pretty much she's pretty much like the best off tank right now. Like with his PTR, she's pretty much like even though she's still gonna be main tank, you could probably still play her as main tank. But if you have like a Ryan, maybe even Zarya with you, like Orisa's gonna be playing like a midway, I don't know what term to use, but pretty much like a best of both worlds type of tank, where she could go main, but she could also play the off role as well, like really well, because she's gonna be taking a whole lot of damage. Like,
dude,
Jesus.
Not even that. Think about this. Think about Orisa Zarya, dude. Think about it. So you go in and just like you said, you put. I'm gonna stay Kingsor just because that's a good example. Mm-hmm. You put that barrier down to take all the initial damage, and then wait for the barrier to start taking damage while your team gets in position.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that barrier drops, Lucio speed boost. You bubble the Orisa. She goes in. You start the fight. And then as soon as that bubble goes off, she fucking fortifies after she's in position. And then you just start the fight with a bubbled Zarya, a fortified Orisa, and Lucio doing whatever he needs to do. Dude, that is already fucking scary.
Jesus. If it could be pulled off that cleanly, yeah, definitely.
Well, that's the beauty of it all.
I'm hip.
None of this is broken because it's gonna take skill, timing, and team cohesiveness, which is exactly what you want in this game.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Like anything on paper could be pulled off if it's done properly. I agree. That's Jesus. I might have to switch over to Orisa. Honestly, I just might have to start playing more Orisa. I don't know. I feel like Ryan is gonna be good, but like I feel like going in, I feel like day one.
You know what else I just thought about?
What's up?
Fucking look. You know how when Reinhardt swings, he's faster, right?
I'm not too sure.
He's
That's
like,
is that confirmed? I'm not sure if that's confirmed.
I don't know. You chase me down pretty well. I don't know.
I mean, it definitely feels that way, but go ahead. I'll look it up. Go ahead, talk.
He's harder to hit, so he's swinging, jumping around. Lucio, so like you're getting ready for a push. Ryan Zarya, Lucio amps it up with his him doing that. The initial push started with the shield with the amp up, so he's already flying at you, and then as soon as he's in position, bubble him. He starts swinging and jumping around with the Lucio boost. He's hopping around, and then your team's pushing in. Hammer down.
Jesus.
He's already enough of a nuisance as he is, and then he has all that extra movement ability, and he gets a hammer down, and then your team rolls. Again, this isn't broken. It's just so there's so much more room for tactics with much more mobile tanks who can do this kind of thing.
More diversity to the game. There's no longer two main tanks.
I'm so excited for this patch.
I'm still on the fence. I really do not know what's gonna, because I feel like day one of this patch.
Well, here's the thing. You're probably excited because you're thinking about the game and your style of play and how this patch sort of puts that out of the meta. But you're not but think about how much this is actually good for the game because it brings more tactic and actual skill. It bumps up the skill cap for the game.
I can't disagree with that. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's definitely good for the game. It's just that I'm as of right now, I'm strictly talking as a Reinhardt main right now, and I guess I had to take that role.
As a Reinhardt main, you have so much more diversity in your play now.
Of course. No. Of course, but I'm saying like I'm not too sure. Like I'm not. I don't have a clear. Even though everything you're saying on paper, like I don't have a clear level of. I don't have a certain level of certainty where I'm just like, yeah, I'm excited for this patch. Because I remember when the Tracer buff was coming out, and I was like, oh, that's nothing. And then I realized, oh snap, this is actually pretty ridiculous. Let me get ready for it. And then when it came out,
you just gotta get in and feel it.
I mean, of course. I mean, definitely. But it's like just prepared for it, and then there's I thought I was prepared for it. That's where I am right now. I feel like I'm reading all this stuff. I'm looking up, what all the interactions and all the numbers and trying to figure out how things are going to use, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. I feel like I'm prepared for it, but I feel like once that patch goes live, it's going to hit me even harder than I expected. So I'm just like, I don't know. Because the last patch, with the Tracer buff, bro, I don't know if you guys remember when we were playing on Numbani, we got shredded by a Tracer on day one of that patch. I don't know if we were, I don't remember who was playing. I know Barsky was there. I know Eric, and I know somebody else. I think
Barsky was the one who said it first. He was like, this damage drop off, like nerf or buff,
yeah.
Essentially makes her a fucking hit skin.
Hey, bro, she already was a hit skin, but it makes her like a long range hit skin. Like it's crazy.
She's a soldier hit skin now.
Bro, they called her what's it called? Damn, I'm tripping. I'm tripping balls right now. Tracer 76. Damn. I just had the biggest brain for it. But that's how I don't know. We weren't ready for that patch, but we were when that joint went out. Shoot, it was crazy. But this patch though, I feel like it's good. I like the idea that they're reverting the Ghost meta changes because I feel like because I know. Oh, I didn't even say what was left on the patch notes. There was one more thing. John might hate it though, but it is what it is. Oh no, it's two more things. Moira got nerfed. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if John.
85 healing per second to 60.
Yeah, no 80 to 65. Yeah, John, do you catch that?
80 to 65.
Yeah, her healing from her biotic grasp. The healing from the biotic grasp pretty much got nerfed. So she does. So pretty much
Good.
while she's doing damage, but she's getting less heals on
Fucking good.
herself.
Fucking
That's,
good.
That's all she got. Diva's defense matrix got in decrease.
I have been saying that Moira has been so broken for so long that it's been like you just sort of accept it now. But Moira's been broken for so long.
Diva's defense matrix cooldown got decreased from 2 seconds to 1.5, so that's a buff from the previous. It's still a net nerf, but it's a buff from the last patch. Because before it used to be 1 second, now it's 1.5. Widow got a nerf on her cooldown for her grappling hook. That's what the nerf was, DJ. That was the hook. Not no damage fall or anything like that. So I'm actually so pretty much he has it every 12 seconds instead of 10 seconds, which is good. Torb got buffed. His overlord cooldown is got increased from 12 to 10 seconds. That thing doesn't seem like that powerful anyway. I mean, Torb is really hard to kill when he's over, but I'm just like 2 seconds doesn't seem like it's gonna be that big of a deal. And the last one,
You'd be surprised.
And Genji got 6 more shuriken added to his clip, giving him 2 more shots. He has a total of 30.
Zarya got a buff. She can now put out 5 bombs.
She put out 5. Yeah, they nerfed the amount of ammo it costs to shoot out a grenade. Instead of 20
by 5.
Yeah, instead of 25, it's 5. I mean, instead of 25, it's 20. So I mean, that's just essentially more DPS. I don't think the damage was they increased the explosion radius. So the splash damage went from 2 meters to 2.5 meters, and that's pretty much.
I was looking at that. I saw it live, and it doesn't look like too much of a difference. I think it's more. It's not an actual visual thing you see, but it's actual more of a feel.
Right? Yeah, and the rest are just bugs. I don't really feel like going through bugs because we don't know bugs to begin with. I don't know any bugs in the game, but Doomfist got fixed. Junkrat, Roadhog, and Widow got fixed. Oh, they fixed the bug where if you turn off toggle zoom, when you play Widow and then you spam ADS too much, and then you'll get stuck and zoomed in sometimes. But anyway. But that's pretty much it for the patch notes. Overall, DJ, you got any thoughts? Any closing thoughts, bro?
I think that they're doing this because whoever the next healer is gonna have a shield. I think
really?
what was it Sojourn? I think she's gonna have a shield, bro.
I think
it's gonna be
like a personal shield, like Brig. Oh wait.
No, like Symmetra style, bro.
Like old Symmetra, where she like a deployable shield that's went in front of her, and then it just kept backing up.
Not exactly backing up, but something similar to that. Oh. It's like gonna be like a 300 freaking deployable shield that like sticks like in front of her or some bullshit.
I can see it. How about you, John? Any closing thoughts, bro?
I'm really excited for this upcoming patch because I'm optimistic. This can still be very bad for the game if they don't execute properly. And by execute properly, I mean with so many new changes coming all at once, it's going to be a challenge to balance it. So I really hope they pay attention to user feedback in the PTR. And because if they don't, this whole patch could throw the whole game out of whack, and we could just be more fucked. But from what I'm seeing in the numbers, it looks good, but that's just on paper. You really need to go off of feel on these type of things.
That's true.
So I'm really hoping with this new patch, it's a huge-ass patch, so I really hope they're paying very close attention.
Man, honestly, I already said this multiple times already, bro, but I'm just going to wait till the patch goes live to have, like, concrete, what's the word? Like opinion, have a concrete opinion on it. As of right now, where things stand, I like the change, and for the aspect of the for the good of Overwatch. I mean, every change like this is always going to be a good change.
I can't believe there's no passion rework. Sorry.
I hate you so much.
Yeah,
bro.
something stuck in your throat too, bro. Yeah, bro. I've been feeling that same shit stuck in my throat for a while now.
That's stupid. But
fucking ridiculous. Oh my god.
But anyway, like I said, I'm on the fence in terms of I'm just not sure. But once this goes live, I'm gonna have fun, exploring what how everything feels, because this is the type of thing that you're going to see off the first 5 minutes. It's going to be like, obviously damage blocked per game is going to go down by a lot, by a lot. But yeah, I'm actually not too disappointed with these changes. I think it's the first changes that Overwatch has done that actually look good for the game. Especially with the I think like the third straight um change to the game that's really that's really looked good. But other than that, I'm pretty good. I think this will be good for the game. Anyway, this is Keep It a Stack on Six Stack YouTube. Thanks for listening. I'm Kahamsha and Ed, along with DJ, John, Eric, and Steven. Thanks for listening, guys.
Shima.
I think we'll be back here on Thursday night at 8:00. Tune in for that. Thanks for listening. And I hope you guys have a good night. You guys have anything to say?
Happy patch notes.
Yo, get. All right, we're out of here. Yo. My
Patch
controller.
notes are coming.
Bro, it's gonna come out Christmas. That's when it's dropped. I'm calling it out right now. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. You guys have a good night.